A very good evening to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am Neha, Ambassador of Change for GETI, that is Global Education and Training Institute, an idea about which we just witnessed in the video that we just played. And today I am very honored to have amongst us Dr. S. Veeramani, who is the head of Department English at the Government Arts and Science College, Lalgudi, based in Trichy, Tamil Nadu. And Sir will be condensing his vast experience and will be talking about an agenda that is very close to our hearts, which is disruptive innovative skills. At GETI, we continuously try to inculcate disruptive practices, and we are very honored to have Sir talk about one of those tangents. Thank you so much, Sir, and a very warm welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll just, Sir, you're not audible. If you could, maybe increase the volume of your laptop.
Is my voice audible to you?
Yes, sir. It's audible now. It's audible now. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'll add your. Okay, I'll add your presentation,
yes.
sir. Have a. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Thank you. Shall I take up this session? Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can, open your PowerPoint. Yes, sir, where it is. And
yeah, no
maybe.
problem. No problem.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir. It's visible. Disruptive innovative skills. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Dr. Sunita Gandhi, who is the founder of this global education and training institution, and Ms. Neha and other organizers of this particular event, and other participants, those who are watching my presentation on Facebook Live and other social media forums. Very good evening, one and all, gathered virtually here. Actually, today's topic to discuss on is disruptive innovative skills. I hear this term disruptive and disruption may lead to a kind of confusion to many. So here, the first meaning for the disruption is somewhat a blockage. The second meaning for the disruption is changing the status quo with technology. So when a person is intended to change the status quo for the innovation, for the new adaptation through the technology, automatically they will create something new and they will be innovative in their own fields. So in order to understand and also to acquire the skills, we need certain concepts. That's why we are going to see in this small presentation by me. Yeah, here we find that it is does not mean that a blockage of anything, but it is the changing attitude, and a person must have the changing tendencies to alter and change the status quo. You know that the status quo is the present situation. The present situation is something we call that a traditional way of learning and traditional skills. Okay, the traditional skills and the traditional way of learning must be changed into new through the technology. This is what we call the disruptive. Okay, and when you have that kind of intention, that kind of a skill, automatically a person can have the innovative skills. So that's why I would like to define at the outset itself about what is disruptive education and what is innovative education. The education must have the disruptive one, not that a distraction, but only the disruptive. Disruptive in the sense, that the maintaining, the changing the status quo. The skills, actually, we think that some people say that the skills are inherent. A person can have the skills in burn, but some people can have that it is to be cultivated. But what I tell you, it is to be cultivated. In the large number of people, those who have innovated many, uh, what would I say, creations, they have cultivated the innovative skills, not that simply inherent. It is not that simply the inborn qualities, but skills can be cultivated. So that's why we can have that Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, he is an ordinary person. Automatically that person, he wanted to create Apple. Okay, Apple technology, phone, and what they say, iPod, at the same time the computer, okay, with Macintosh software and so on. But in the Apple first, what he did was, with a small fan inside the what do I say, the computer he invented. But after that, what he felt was the rotation of the fan might disturb a person who is working on the computer. And then he thought that why not a computer without a fan? Why not a laptop without a fan? Like that, he thought. And then he innovated his skills without having a fan. That's why still we are taking a great and extreme advantage of Steve Jobs innovation in our life. Okay, so this is the thing. And disruptive innovative skills, what we can have is think differently. First of all, when you think differently, automatically it will lead to doing things differently. And then we can have the output and the byproduct of doing things differently, and the byproduct of thinking things differently. We have the disruptive innovative skills. Okay, we have the production. The production should be used for the people. It is not for the sake of fancy and so on, but it has to be used by the common person, any person across the world. So this is why we call that the disruptive innovative skills. At the same time, doing things differently may lead to thinking the things differently, and then we have that disruptive innovative skills. That's why I have given this particular diagram. It is a hand-picked diagram because both the thinking differently and doing differently are interconnected to have the disruptive innovative skills. So in a college age education and in school education, the students must have the disruptive innovative skills. When they take up a huge degree, when they take up a PhD degree, they must have the innovative skills. They might have the innovative skills, but we have to check the educators, the what should I say, the facilitators must check whether the students have disruptive innovative skills or ordinary innovative skills. The ordinary innovative skills, they can have skills, okay, in their own field, they can have the skills, but disruptive innovative skills, they have their own unique skills through the use of technology. I use and specifically mention that the students must have the skills through the use of technology. This is what we call disruptive innovative skills. Today, it is very, very essential for school children as well as college students. So we must have these kinds of skills when we teach to the students. And then the human brain is divided into two parts largely. Okay, the left part of a brain and the right part of the brain. You find that the left part of the brain, they are very, very calculative, logic. Okay, the critical thinker, not creative thinker, but they are critical thinker and logical thinking. So you find that the linear thinking pattern is taken place when a person uses the left brain. The right brain, when a person uses the right brain, they have the creative mind. They think creatively. Okay, they are very active and a creative person. So that's why the people, those who have created and those who are very much interested in innovative skills, they are using the right brain. That's why I would like to give you the picture. You find that the left side, you find the number is in the sequence that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like that. But whereas the right brain, you find that 1, 4, 7, and then you find that very colorful picture is there. It shows that the person is very, very creative. So when we accept the status quo, we should not create anything new. But when we do not accept the status quo, we create something new. That's why I would like to take a cue from the scientific development. Say, for example, in those days, what Ptolemy says, only the geocentrism. What Copernicus says, it is only the heliocentrism, because they are not accepting the fact. But Copernicus, what he did was he changed the status quo. He changed the status quo and then they created something new. He created a new and innovative thinking. So that's why what we call is the right brain users can create something new to the world. Okay, and then you find that left brain, it is only the logical and linear thinking, whereas the right brain, we have the creative thinking. That's why Apple II, okay, that is the second generation of Apple II by Steve Jobs. He thought that why does a computer need a fan? It is a very, very big question. The innovative thinkers and the person who uses his right brain definitely would question why, which, where, like that. They used to question. Only then they fire, what do they say, a plethora of questions. a plethora of questions about a particular thing, only then they can have so many answers. Through the answers, they can create something new. So this is the very, very basic about the disruptive innovative skills. And then the challenging the status quo, as I mentioned earlier, everyone, the students of various kinds, a student may be from engineering or from medicine or from arts and science or from social sciences. Okay, he or she must have the tendency of making the challenge the status quo. When he or she does the challenge of the status quo, automatically the person can have the creative thinking. So what we find that here, creative is not just a genetic endowment and not just a cognitive skill. Okay, it is not that simply a cognitive skill. It is not that simply that comes from our human brain. It is not that the genetic endowment. Okay, but it is, I mean, got by the practice, by our what they say, training, and we get ourselves immersed with various departments, various streams. Only then we can have that creative skills and creative thinking, and then we can form a path towards the disruptive innovative skills. The innovators on cognitive skill, they can have the associational skill, associational thinking. Say, for example, I tell you, when a person thinks something, he or she must do the association with various streams. This is what we call associational thinking. Arthur Franz Jonas, they call that it is a Medici effect. In Florence, there is a history. When we go down the ages, we can talk about the Medici's effect and Medici's theory. Okay, what it happened is the Medici's family, what they did was in Florence, they called many more creative artists like sculptors, scientists, poets, philosophers, painters, and architects, and many people they called to meet and unite in a one particular place to discuss on their own field and what went wrong in their field. Okay, what is the useful to the human being from their own field, and what is the effect upon the human being through their own sculptures and scientific innovations and poems and philosophical thoughts and paintings and architects. Okay, all these things they discussed on many things. Okay, and then they created say for example, sculptor, they can say their own feels advantages and disadvantages, and scientists they can say and they can share their own fields advantages and disadvantages, and poets also can share and disseminate their fields advantages and disadvantages towards the human society. Okay, and then when all of them are talking about their own field, what are the things for the disadvantages and what are the things for the advantages, they mix together. Okay, they are only the merits they can mix together, automatically they create something new to the world. So this is the point. What I would like to tell you is that is the Medici theory. In Florence, it took place, and then they created a Renaissance. You know that Renaissance, that is something new. It is a kind of what they say, reformation is taking place in their own field. So this is what we call that Medici effect and Medici's theory. Okay, so say for example, sculptors they can have their own disadvantages. The poets they can have their own disadvantages. and what is right for the human being and what is wrong for the human being from their own field can be used. Okay, the wrong things can be eliminated and the right things can be used with the interconnection. Okay, this is what we call that medici effects for the creative thinking and for the what should I say, the disruptive innovative skills. So if a person who I mean, not a person, any student must have the knowledge of various fields, not that simply only one field. Okay, some people can say that it is my own area and I have to specialize on this particular thing and particular topic and particular area. It is not like that. But when we go to the earlier periods, the philosophers, they are well versed in various fields, in various aspects and various streams, in various majors. They were very much what should I say, talented, and they what should I say, they gave the good things to the society as being a philosopher and so on. So that what I tell you is they are very much interested in various fields. It is not that their idea and philosophy is shrunk, okay, in only one place, in only one area of study, not like that. But the students of school, the students of college, okay, must have the interconnection of various, what should I say, fields. Okay, this is the point. This is the very basic and the fundamental point about the disruptive innovative skill. And then we can have that four discovery skills. Now actually we have that various quotients, say for example intelligent quotient, and then emotional quotient, and CQ, confidence quotient, and there are so many quotients are available among the student, human community as well as the students community. But whereas now we have that discovery quotient. Discovery quotient is nothing but the how a person is to discover new ideas, and how a person is have how a person can have the abilities to undergo some ventures. Okay, some ventures. This is the point we can term that discovery quotient. Okay, in IQ, that is to test the general intelligence of a person. EQ is used to test the emotional quotient of a person, like a feeling, okay, like a feeling angry, and what should I say, and other emotions. Okay, but whereas this particular DQ, that is the discovery quotient, is to discover new ideas, to undergo new ventures, to take up a challenge, okay, to take up the challenge about the status quo, as I mentioned earlier. So this is a very important question. Next to EQ, okay. I'm not talking about the IQ. IQ is general intelligence, but EQ is very important, as well as DQ is more than this EQ. Okay, because the person must undergo the ventures. When you take up a venture only, you are able to find out what is right and what is wrong, and how it can be used for the human society. So that's why every person, especially the students of various kinds, must have the discovery quotient, that is DQ. Okay, and then we have that the four what should I say, discovery quotient, the four discovery skills. What are those four discovery skills? We can have that um, Yeah, discovery quotient, we can have that, associating and questioning, then observing, networking, experimenting. Okay, so here what we call is association. So when we think something new, that has to be associated with the other area of study. Okay, if you think in what should I say, in educational purpose, say for example, if you think in your stream, for example, if you think in physics, that physics, how it is applicable to human being and how it is applicable to medicine, how it is applicable to other fields of study. Okay, so this is what we call that associating. Associating is very very important skill. Okay, the next skill we have to talk about is questioning. Questioning, it's a very very fundamental skill everyone should acquire. Everyone should have this skill, that is a questioning. Say for example, Newton also, he thought that why doesn't go up. Okay, the apple, when he was thinking about the gravitational force, he thought that questioning only first of all. Okay, he used to think number of questions. So even is still, we think that Albert Einstein's ideology, Albert Einstein's, what should I say, the scientific discovery and scientific innovation and so on. But more scientific innovators, they question the status quo. When you do not question, you will never find anything new. This is the fundamental thing. This is a very very basic thing. When you question, automatically you have to associate with the particular field. See, everything is interconnected. It is not that associating is a separate skill and questioning is a separate skill and observing is a separate skill and networking is a separate skill. It is not like that, but everything is interconnected. That's why we can have that. Another skill is called networking. So questioning is very very important. We used to question, even if your question is a stupid one. Okay, you, if you want to look stupidity, you can achieve something greater in the world. This is what many philosophers, many scientists say, that you look stupid first of all. When you look stupid and when you think stupid, what should I say? Stupid. Definitely, you will find something new. Okay, so you have to be very, very, what should I say? Creative. When do you have the creative ideology? When you question. When you question many things. Okay, so questioning is not that only WH questions. There are various kinds of questions. When you find the answers for various questions, when you fire number of questions, okay, when you find out the answers for various questions, you have some type of what should I say, pack of knowledge, and you can make use of a particular thing which is applicable, which is related to your field, which is related to the associating skills. And then observation is very important. Okay, Heisenberg says he is a physicist. Okay, he is a man who is behind the development of quantum mechanics. Okay, quantum physics. What he said is the observed is the observer. Okay, the observed is the observer. That means what you observe, that what you observe and how you observe, the object is yourself. The object is yourself. That is echoing. Okay, echoing your way of thinking pattern. That's why all the scientists and creative thinkers, they observe things firstly. Say, many writers observe, many scientists observe what happens in the lab. Okay, what happens in the lab, what happens in the field, they observe first of all. When you do not observe, you can never question at all. Okay, so that's why the people, the students must observe a particular thing. So this is another skill. Okay, the next one is networking. Networking is, as I told you earlier, that is the Medici theory, the Medici family theory, that is networking. The sculptor is networked with the poet. The poet is networked with the scientist. The scientist is networked with a medicine practitioner. So they think that what are the advantages for their own field, they can grab it. They can grab it and they can put it for their development. What are the disadvantages? They just leave that. And what are the real and the useful things? They can grab it and they can use it for the development of their field, as well as for the people to make use of that. So that's why I tell you that the networking skill is very, very essential, like the other things, no, questioning, observing. So networking is very, very important. And then networking in the sense, the what would I say? The like-minded people can have a group formation. Okay, they can have a network. They can have a network. They can gather together, and then they can discuss a lot on their own observation about a particular thing, about particular creativity and creative things, and so on. Because when we have the like-minded person and the network of that particular group, they can share their own points. They can share their own new and innovative skills. So that skill may be adopted by a particular person and they may be adopted by someone else. Okay, that's why the networking skill is very, very important. And then the next thing is we can have that experimenting. It is highly essential because we associate many things. After that we questioning. Okay, we question many things and then we observe, then we can network. When we complete all the skills, what we find finally is the experimentation. The experimentation leads to the success or unsuccess. Okay, so the experimentation must be properly executed by the creative writers or the scientists. Say, for example, not only for the scientists, not only for the creative thinkers, creative writers, but also every student is a creative thinker. Every college student is a creative thinker. Every teacher is a creative thinker. Every facilitator is a creative thinker. Okay. At the same time, the logical connection can be in some cases. Okay. The creative thinking they use in a different way, like a patchwork. Finally, we have that something new. It will be useful for the society. It will useful for the human world across the globe. So that's why we can have that the other skills. The other skills can be put together to practice. That practice is nothing but the experimentation. So here what we have is the experimentation is very, very important. Some scientists, they do the thought experimentation. They do the experimentation in their mind itself. Say, for example, Albert Einstein's A is equal to mc squared is the thought experimentation. That's why he did not have the Nobel Prize for the E is equal to mc square, but he got Nobel Prize only for the photoelectric effect. But the experimentation is the physical experimentation as well as the mental experimentation. Mental experimentation is nothing but the thought experimentation. Say some writers, some creative thinkers, some innovative writers, innovative thinkers, they do the experimentation in their own mind. And after that, that experimentation can be put as a practice one. So this is the method some writers and some creative thinkers, creative what they say, innovators can do this kind of performance in their life. Okay, so experimentation sometimes may lead to success, sometimes it may not be. So it depends upon the observation, the networking of thoughts, and the sharing of ideas, and the questioning of a particular event. Say, for example, if you have only one idea, if you raise 100 questions, okay, if you shoot 100 questions and a plethora of questions, automatically you will have a clear cut information about a particular thing. Then you can have the proper idea, and then you can put everything in an experimentation. Okay, finally your experimentation can be a fruitful one. Then the what should I say, you can have a finally you will be a creative thinker, you will be a creative writer, and so on. So what I tell you is, some people uh, fear of being stupidity. Okay, but it doesn't matter at all. But stupidity, how do you say that this is stupidity? That stupidity maybe sometimes in earlier times, it may be a scientific one, it may be an innovative one. Okay, in the due course of the time, it may be a stupidity. So that's why the students must not think that it is the stupid idea. That is not that stupid idea. This is the stupid idea. If they think like that, definitely they will not have the creative thinking. So everyone should undergo the stupidity first of all. Only then he or she is able to do the creative thinking. Finally, they have the DQ, that is the discovery skills, okay, discovery quotient. So this is what I wanted to tell you in the today's short presentation on the disruptive education. I mean disruptive innovative skills. Okay, thank you very much, and I have to thank what did I say? The moderator, Miss Neha Yadav, and the Sunita Gandhi, the founder of this GETI Education, and the other organizers, the participants through the Facebook and so on. So once again, I thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful presentation. And before we wrap, I just have one question for you, if you could take
Yes.
that. You mentioned, the role. You mentioned so many skills that students should inculcate. Would you like to, throw some light on the role of teachers in inculcating, in helping students inculcate, those disruptive skills that you mentioned, those EQ skills that you mentioned, the various skills that you mentioned through your presentation today, and the role of teachers in them, basically.
Yeah, actually, the teacher must, first of all, any teacher must inculcate the EQ. That is very, very important. Emotional quotient is very, very important rather than the other skills, because the students must be mentally, what should I say, very strong enough. Yeah, strong enough. They must inculcate the emotional quotient, and the teacher must train the students through the emotional quotient. After that, they can inculcate the DQ, that is the discovery quotient. Automatically, they will create something more and more rather than the IQ. Intelligent
Hmm.
quotient is a kind of test only. Okay, in the general
Absolutely.
test. Yeah, so these two are very, very important.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for highlighting, in detail the role of teacher as well. Thank you so much, sir, for being here today and enlightening us with your thoughts. And we're very honored to have you. Thank you so much. And hope
Thank
you
you.
have a great day today. And I hope to see you again.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.